Hey, party people, just a heads up. This is a recap of the Triple I initiative. It's going to be a real rough cut, no edits or anything like that, just our pure, unfiltered thoughts. So enjoy.
Hello, friends and listeners, party people. Welcome back to another episode of Party XP. I'm your host, Lakan, and joining me is Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
So, I'm hype. I don't know if you're hype. I'm hype. Listeners probably have no idea what the hell I'm talking about right now. But yesterday was the Triple I initiative reveal, video, showcase. What do they call it? I don't remember what the hell they call
Event?
it. Event.
Digital event?
Yeah. So
Premium live event?
Yeah.
That's funny for wrestling fans only.
So, because last year we did the Triple I initiative like kind of showcase, right? I think I did it as a solo
Right.
episode. Just because of timing, because obviously it happened like during the day while it was like at work and you were working kind of thing. So I was like, okay, well I got time.
If it happened this time, oh yeah, like this time last year, yeah, I think I was still, I just was unable to do anything for whatever reason.
Okay. So yeah, so I remember last year I did a solo episode, then we kind of touched upon it again a little bit, like the next time you were able to return. But this year, yeah, we were both able to catch it, and we've kind of given it another second watch here, and a lot of cool stuff is coming out again.
It was 45 minutes late the first time, so sorry.
All good, man. But yeah, there's some updates on some stuff, some announcements, some world premieres. So yeah, I got again a lot of cool stuff kind of showing up. Announced this year, hopefully coming out this year as well too. Some got some release dates, some softer, kind of like windows they're trying to do here. But for you listeners, if you don't know what the Triple I initiative is, it is essentially a kind of like a joining of forces of a bunch of indie game studios. And the term Triple I is kind of like is a reference to the term Triple A. For like AAA games, AAA sports, anything like that, right? Whereas like that's the your top line, your big budget people, your big organizations, companies, and so on and so forth. Especially in the game development space for AAA. Triple I is your big quote unquote big indie releases, right? I guess that's kind of like the safe way to explain it, where it's not always a group of people, but like these are kind of like bigger names, I guess, technically within the indie space. I don't know if there's another way for you to try to explain it here, but I think that's kind of the easiest way for me to explain it on my end.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it's just, you're more, I guess, easily accessible indie titles that are like, at least groups that have put together games maybe in the past, or maybe this is their first time on like a solo project. I don't really know how else to say it, but yeah, like these games seem to be a little bit more polished than some others. And
yeah, maybe
they all kind of came together and, put together a showcase.
Yeah, maybe even like a little bit bigger of a project. You know what I mean? Versus like a smaller, simpler like 2D type of game. Yeah, we actually start seeing a bunch of like full 3D world development games here. And also I think teams that usually also break off from other companies end up making their own groups kind of thing. You know what I mean? And they kind of end up showing up here sometimes as well. But yeah, so like think of like, the bigger names in terms of like, think of like Devolver Digital, Yacht Club, you know what I mean? Like those are technically independent studios still. But they're like the bit on like the larger end or the bigger end in terms of like budget and team development size. But yeah, still technically independent games, as in they're not touched by the big corpos like Tencent, EA Studios, Ubisoft, Sony, Microsoft, anything, any one of those guys basically. But yeah, so basically they all came together and they did it last year. They showcased a bunch of like these big project indie games, get a bunch of hype around them, and basically be like a showcase. A way for them to show off what they've got coming out or planning to release. And they dropped it again this year. I almost forgot about it. Funny thing, I remember I just kind of like saw my phone, like my notification was like, hey, like don't forget, kind of thing. And I was like, oh shoot, clock into it, and I was still like a little bit late, but I got to catch it, most of it anyway. But yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff here that they showcased this year, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into it, I guess, and just to kind of talk about some stuff. So the first,
lead the way, please.
Yeah, so the first thing they show off here, world premiere of a game called Neverway. This has like a pixel aesthetic. This comes from the pixel artist of Celeste. which kind of, if you've ever played Celeste or ever seen it, very very pretty, very detailed pixel aesthetic, basically. Kind of looks like some life sim stuff, but like with a really like kind of weird, kind of like slightly dark undertone to it. Some kind of like a little bit of like a horror aesthetic. There's some combat. Reminds me of like a like a Legend of Zelda for the SNES type of look, basically. And there's some like creepy monsters going on. I don't know. Like again, some like it looks like a mix of like Stardew Valley with like Legend Zelda with the horror aesthetic. I don't know. What are you thinking here, Jeff?
I don't know, man. It all kind of looks like the same comfy, cozy, not comfy, cozy, maybe, but just like definitely not comfy, cozy, but yeah, a little, just kind of like I don't know. It looks like an indie game.
Okay,
yeah, it looks like the way all these other indie games look.
Okay, well, I'm kind of
I don't know how else to describe it.
I'm kind of intrigued with a little bit of like horror thing going on here. So
yeah, it's like creepy Zelda's Adventure DX.
Okay, so not exactly your thing here. Okay, that's fine. Oh, good. Just before we get, and we'll move along here. Just before we move along, we're gonna do what we did last year, or at least what I did last year. And because I've got the video going on as well, we're gonna give you a heads up if these are available if they have demos or not available. That's kind of like a big thing that people were excited for this for the AAA stuff. Currently only wishlist now, and I don't think there's currently a demo available. At least not from what I'm seeing on the video end. Let's see here just to make sure. Neverway. Yeah, still no announced date. Just currently wishlisted. Okay. So that was the first one. Next one up here. I I popped right off the bat, Jeff. Number 2, Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes.
Rockin' Stone. We're back. So, Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. This is basically like this is a roguelike. This is a roguelike Deep Rock Galactic.
They made a game for you.
It is very, very me-coded. Space Wars.
I was gonna say, we talked about this, I think,
when they announced
most
it,
anticipated.
Right? Yeah. Probably, yeah.
And I made the same joke because it's so true. Like, they made a game for you.
It is so perfect, bro. And there's multiplayer. That's a big deal. Like how many get some more multiplayer co-op roguelikes here. So the biggest change, at least from what I'm seeing now in regards to the trailer for this game that they showed off here, is that obviously there's like abilities more than just your gun, your flares, and your slight movement abilities for not in the main game. There's like the engineer can make platforms. There's there's like the guy who has the digger claws, right? He can kind of easily move his way through walls and stuff. The scout has like a grappling hook. This one, they don't show a whole lot of that, like the movement options. I'm assuming just because it would probably make the game a little bit maybe too easy. It seems more like you're kind of stuck on the ground at this point, but you're still digging through walls, mining stuff, and now you're upgrading your weapons with other extra abilities. And it has a bit more of like a horror aesthetic from what it looks like, at least scarier, not just like the usual big bug monsters. They've got some more like crawling zombie looking things here. Stoked for this one. Super stoked for this one. Currently they're only doing a closed alpha. So you got to sign up for hopefully to get chosen to join that. Starting soon, it says. So I already signed up.
That's good. I hope you get in.
I'm excited. I'm so for this one. Okay. You want to take this next one? I feel like this one might be a little up your alley.
What is this? This is Tears of Metal.
Yeah.
Is this next one?
Yeah.
Brave, the Disney movie Brave Dynasty Warriors.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to change fate, would you?
Yeah, Scottish Dynasty Warriors. I'm in.
Right? I was like, kind of simple, but it looks kind of fun.
I'm in. Yeah.
And
why not?
There's some like roguelike elements, where you can change your weapon stuff. You know what I mean?
Of course there is. Every one of these games is a roguelike.
Yes.
Every single independent game is a roguelike.
Because it is a superior game type, Jeff.
No, because credits are for fucking dorks, apparently. You just want to play the same game over and over again. Every game is a roguelike, comfy, cozy farm simulator.
But this one, you're Scottish and with a sword.
Right. Everything's a fucking roguelike.
Come on, man. This actually looks pretty dope, though. I think it looks pretty cool.
Oh no, it looks cool. I'm not saying that.
Just the roguelike elements that have to get splashed in.
Just come on. Every one of these games has a. How do you have a showcase of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 36 games are listed on this website. How are they all roguelikes?
Again, superior game type, Jeff. You should know. You're a dad. You have how much time you got to play?
Yeah, so I'd like to roll credits at some point here.
Never, Jeff. You're stuck in a perpetual wheel of motion here. But yeah, Tears of Metal again looks like a hack and slice. Very much so, just like was there a term for these? Muso? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Muso, because that's the Japanese name.
Yes.
Gundam Muso,
Dynasty Warriors, Samurai, whatever, all those games basically.
Samurai Warriors, yeah.
But yeah, there's an open beta from the, what does it say? April 10th through the 17th. So yeah, it's currently open. Let's see, just confirming right now on Steam. Tears of Metal, request access. Yeah, and then planned release date is later this year. So at some point in 2025 at least. But yeah, I think it looks pretty interesting. I'm kind of down for it. Next one up here, we've got Sacrifier. This one very much so reminds me of Octopath Traveler, where it has like that 2D pixel sprite with the 3D world building kind of thing. It is. I'm still a little bit confused if it's a turn-based RPG or not, because of the way the animations move.
Yeah, they didn't do a really
clarifying
solid job of clarifying that. But it's also I don't know. It looks pretty.
It looks really pretty. Yeah, for sure.
The one thing I will say about all of these games, every game looked great, no matter what the art style was, and everything looked great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is currently I think wishlist only. Yeah, they're expecting to release in Q1 2026. I know Jack would probably be very into this, regardless if it's an action RPG or a straight up turn-based RPG.
Yeah, it does look kind of turn-based,
right?
From what you can tell, especially like that boss fight. It does look like it's turn-based. So
yeah, but still definitely interested in this. And again, you see a bunch of groups underneath there. Well, yeah, very cool. Okay, let's see. Next one up we got in the video. Endless Legend 2. This one is probably like one of the ones that's not really in my personal scope of games. Because it has like a big open world kind of setting, right? It looks like a RTS a little bit, but it's more of like building an empire. It reminds me of like Civ, you know what I mean?
It is. It's definitely more like a turn-based strategy versus RTS. Like a real-time strategy.
Yeah, which I'm not very big into, and I'm also not very good at them.
Right.
Because I get too antsy and I just want to, go for combat all the time. Mm-hmm. Again, it looks really pretty. Like we're still talking about indie games here, right? This looks kind of again, looks very, very cool. I'd be interested to see how it plays out, kind of thing, but probably not something we got to grab right off the bat. But again, it looks really very, very nice so far. And this one has a release date in available early access summer 2025. So this year, that's cool. Again, I'm excited for the fact that there's just more stuff coming out this year in general. Okay, next one up we've got here. This actually looks really interesting. This one is called Frost Rail. This comes from another company that made this comes from the company that made or the creators of Barotrauma. Have you heard of that one or no?
No, I have not.
So Barotrauma is a horror game. I think like technically it's like considered a horror game. Let me share that before I'm just talking out of my ass here. It's like a survival, slightly horror kind of like a submarine base building game. Where you have your characters and you kind of like defend your submarine underwater against giant undersea monsters and stuff. So that one kind of like is more of like a 2D kind of control the rooms kind of thing. You know what I mean? This one is a full on FPS game where you go out hunting, scavenging, and then basically return back to the train from what it looks like anyway. while escaping and avoiding encounters from monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
So kind of like a co-op
I do like how it
game.
just cuts to like a monster and you're supposed to just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And not like, wait, this is what you've been fighting this whole time?
Yeah.
This is what we've been preparing for?
They show it right off the bat. There's some like gun building aspects from what it looks like. Again, some base building on the train, you know what I mean? But again, if you I don't think you've played any extraction shooters.
No.
Yeah, I think like the closest, I guess, technically would be like, some of the looter shooters you played. But extraction shooters, obviously the risk is obviously go out, grab gear, and come back without dying because the risk is losing all the stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty interested in this. I love extraction shooters as much as they hurt me. Because it's that like you get the highest highs when you get some cool loot, and of course you're very sad when you die and lose said loot. But yeah, only no release date, but only currently like a wish list kind of thing. So I've already wish listed this on my end. Okay. Next up here, we got Moonlighter 2. Do you know anything about Moonlighter or no?
Nope.
Okay, so Moonlighter 1 is like it feels very original Legend of Zelda. Like Legend of Zelda 1, the original on the NES and SNES, right? It's like a top-down, dungeon, dungeon crawler kind of thing, right? Like the dungeon specifically in Legend of Zelda 1. And then so you would go into the dungeons, kill stuff, collect stuff, and then during the day you run a market. And there's like a full-on economy in the game. Yeah, like so sometimes you get a customer says, "Oh, this is too expensive," so you have to drop the price on it. You know what I mean? And then you'll drop price, and then sometimes people go, "Oh, this is a really good deal," so they'll buy a bunch of them, and then also you'll get more people coming in for your goods in the day looking for that specific thing because it's a good deal. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like messing with how much you can sell certain items for. And then at night, again, you go into the dungeons, you kill monsters for gear, stuff to sell, their body parts, whatever. You know what I mean? And it just kind of cycles basically over and over and over again. Because it is once again a roguelike.
Kindly shopkeeper by day, brutal murderer at night.
Yeah. But
That's pretty sweet.
Semi-hero because you're also stopping monsters. You know what I mean? So it's okay. Yeah. It's fine. They don't have souls, so. So this is basically an update to that game, or almost like a reimagining at this point, because now they're going with the like isometric 3D style, like Hades and many other any one of those other games. A little bit faster because the first game was very slow. It felt very very deliberate when you fight. You know what I mean? You're stuck in certain animations for attacking and shielding and stuff like that. But this looks a little more like action oriented. So. A nice surprise here, basically. And you can still see a little bit of the shop mechanics here going on. They're selling some stuff. You see the shop. You get to build it up. You get to choose what items you're going to put out for sale. You know what I mean? You can see a little bit as the video rolls. But yeah, so some more updates and kind of like streamline the process, possibly, hopefully. Yeah, so again, like I obviously don't know exactly what the rest of the updates are, but it looks like your town kind of gets bigger and bigger as you go. You can find new weapons and stuff. So yeah, again, it's like it surprisingly for what it is, kind of being like an extraction roguelike kind of economy merchant game. It's kind of comfy, and then it gets really stressful when you realize you've got a lot of really expensive stuff you want to sell. Because if you die, obviously you lose all of it. You can't sell any of the good stuff. But yeah, this one interests you at all or no? No. Okay.
So again, like I said, like I arrived 45 minutes late. So like I just kind of blew through the beginning. Basically everything before I arrived revolved around one game coming to mind, and we're gonna get to it. Okay. It's coming up.
Okay.
And then like a few others towards the end really caught my attention. But there is a lot of, I mean, everything, like I said, everything looks visually stunning.
Yeah,
it's just I know my limitations. I know my interests. I know
flavor of game that you're actually interested in,
right? And limitations meaning my time and my availability. Yeah. So like if I'm gonna play something, I'm gonna play something that I enjoy versus playing something that taking a shot on something, right?
Yeah. Fair point.
I just man. I don't have time to be a fucking shopkeeper during the day and killing shit at night. I just want to fucking kill shit.
That's, again, very, very fair point.
But So, we'll get to something that is definitely on the list, but
Okay.
for now, I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna support these games by talking about them and
Okay.
and telling people to sign up and add them to their wish lists.
Word. Okay, cool. Yeah, again, I understand that. I know that our tastes are obviously very different, right?
Yeah.
We have a large overlap and then a very large, non-intersection part of this Venn diagram, basically of our personal tastes. Okay, so next game here, Starbirds. Looks I guess it looks like a planet building game. Not exactly my thing. Like the automation type of games, like Factorio. You know what I mean? Interesting for those kind of games, but again, not for me. But that being said, though, it does look really cute. Very particular
I do like the
aesthetic to
aesthetics.
it.
I like the artwork. I like the birds.
Yeah,
I like the company that makes it, Toucana. I like their toucan
good name. Good
mascot.
Name. Good name and good mascot.
Yeah. So like I'm rooting for you.
Word. And demo early June. So there we go. So very soon
Yeah.
coming after this one. So there you go. Let's see here. The next one up here, Escape Simulator 2. I played a little bit of the first one. It is very fun. It is just kind of playing like a first person puzzle game. Kind of like imagine like Resident Evil style stuff. Or like you're in a pyramid. You know what I mean? Or you're in
an
a
escape room. It looks like.
Yeah. So like obviously they're all very themed. Kind of thing.
Right.
They're just really fun games. You know what I mean? As much as like a lot of those quote unquote simulator games are like kind of like shit posts essentially.
Right.
This was actually a pretty solid game. Like these are actually pretty interesting and even fun to watch for people to just play through. You know what I mean? I've watched a lot of streams of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they're basically doing a big update, new rooms, updated graphics. You fight a kraken from what it looks like at one point. So that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's a free demo available now. So there we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
breathes for me.
Very nice. Demo now and no release date yet. Okay, cool. So this next one threw me off a little bit. So this one is Outbound. It's like a first person when you're out of the van. Like you got the OG like Volkswagen hippie van.
Yeah.
Man, the life. I wish. Just get away. Just leave my job. just
leave my family. just hit the road.
No. You bring your family with you. You bring wifey with you and the baby. You just explore the world. Kind of like a cozy base building from what it looks like, at least in regards to the camper, right? The camper van, or the van anyway. And then you just drive around, and then it looks like you just build or visit random like places, basically, just like random tree houses and all these other bases. Not a lot, honestly, not a lot of info to go off of, basically, from this trailer. It reminds me a little bit of like Raft. You know what I mean? The survival like raft building game. You travel around like the open seas. Again, not exactly my game here, but it looks, I'm sure it's just up somebody's it's somebody's kind of like flavor here.
It's somebody's game, and it's not ours.
Yeah, not ours. Closed alpha April 14th. So wait, that's like next week. There you go.
Yeah,
very
that's Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go. So again, if you like cozy world building stuff, there you go. Okay, Jeff, I'm assuming this is one of the ones that's kind of like falling a little bit more into your flavor here.
We're getting there. We're getting
closer. Okay, cool.
This looks pretty sick. I'm not going to lie to you. And Shrouded is the next game on our list here. It's a little bit of Minecraft, a little bit of third-person action RPG. We're getting there. We're getting there. So Enshrouded, I guess, is already out, it looks like.
Yes, yeah. Enshrouded's already out.
Yeah, so we're getting there. I never heard of this, and it looked cool. I like okay, so it's an open world survival base building multiplayer.
Yeah, currently
it's in early access.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if we were in college, this would be immediately our game.
Yeah, probably.
We had a little bit more free time.
Right.
Like just you and me going on magic adventures with a sword in Magic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I know the Uncharted games are pretty popular too. The Uncharted game is pretty popular already.
Yeah, it is. It says 3 million players, so it has to be good. Co-op survival action RPG.
There you go.
I could fuck with this.
Yeah. Again, unfortunately, it's like a big looks like not like an MMO, but what is it called? Like a live instance dungeon crawler game.
Yeah,
kinda.
I can see that.
I don't exactly know how open world it is or not. Again, unfortunately, we're adults and we don't have a lot of free
Right.
time, and we play a lot of stuff for the podcast, so we might not be able to touch this one, but it does look very cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those that when we get paid to do this, whenever that is, we can definitely check it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so. But yeah, it looks really
right,
cool. And
so-
again, it's already currently out now, so there you go.
I'm gonna let you take this one.
Beaver Minecraft.
the beaver one, just because I'm gonna need you to lay out for the next one. So
Okay.
you can take this. I am all for the beaver 1, beaver 2. Let's all do the beaver 2 for what it's worth.
Honestly, like if I was to look at any like world or like town building kind of engineering game, this might be it for me.
Yeah. No, I'd rather play this than Minecraft. I'd rather be a beaver than Steve.
As much as I enjoy Minecraft, you're not a beaver, and you don't have an army of beavers at your disposal from what it looks like.
Right. No.
Yeah. So like again, people were kind of clowning it a little bit in the chat when this one showed up.
That's ridiculous.
The game Timberborn. That's what it. So it's like, yeah. The term they used in the first shot is lumberpunk. So
that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
$35 though. I mean,
if it's a game you're going to get a lot of time out of, and you're sinking a lot of time in, you can get a lot of time out of this game. I think that's going to be worth it. That's about
okay.
the
No,
price of like Minecraft.
I'm seeing it more in action now. No, this is definitely worth $35.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And like we're talking like Factorio levels of like intricacy here. Like I'm seeing full on like cities being built, bro. Like speed tubes, zip lines. I'm sure there's a working government at one point.
I will move to the beaver world. I will move there.
You and me will go there. We'll start a coup with our robo beavers. I don't know if you saw that part.
Wait, why are we overthrow? No, we'll just live with the beavers, man.
No, we need to be in charge. Damn it!
We don't have to overthrow the beavers, bro. They'll do everything.
See,
they probably don't have podcasts. We don't have to do anything. We just sit here talking to microphones.
That's fair. Very, very fair point.
Let the beavers run the country. Let them do all the hard work.
And
why do we have to do the hard work?
This game's already out, right? Because it says update 7.
It is in early access.
Okay, so this is update 7 for early access, available in May 8th. So there you go. So the game's already kind of out there already. What's the ratings on this one on Steam? Like positive?
Overwhelmingly positive. 28,000 reviews.
Jeez, I had no idea of this game until the freaking triple I. That's wild.
Shout out Timberborn. Shout out Beavers.
Good for you, Timberborn. Fucking hell.
Mechanistry. Mechanistry is the name of the developer and the publisher for the game. Shout out to these guys.
Good for them.
This game fucking rules.
Good for them.
I wish I had more interest in it.
I wish we had more free time. Just in general, man.
We're gonna interact with these guys. I'm gonna tell them this is fucking awesome. 1 million copies sold. It's not even out of early access.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. Hell yeah.
Good for you guys, man. You know what? I'm gonna go. Hopefully these guys are on the internet somewhere. Because I'm gonna go find.
Yeah, get contact with them. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
We're gonna talk to them about beavers.
Okay, you're up. You said you want me to sit back for this one.
Okay. So, the next game on this list is called Entropy Effect. And I was like, okay, cool. This looks really cool. Entropy Effect. What they don't tell you is that this game has a title, like a pre-title to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step away from the microphone a little bit. Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
This is a Blaze Blue game.
Yeah.
that I've never heard of. Arc System Works has done nothing with this fucking IP for how many years? When did the last Blaze Blue game come out?
3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe.
Hold on. Okay. So, Central Fiction came out, 2019. So basically, Blaze Blue went away when Guilty Gear came back, right?
Yeah. Shit.
Since then, you've had a whole bunch of these spin-off games, and you didn't even buy, and then you had Cross Tag that came out in 2018, right? That era there.
Yeah,
right?
we got into that a little bit. I remember that.
You've had a couple of mobile ports. You've had a couple of basically digital apps that are like a manga. You haven't had a Blaze Blue game in a long time.
Okay.
Why the fuck haven't we heard about this?
I knew about this already, and I'm gonna go ahead.
You just didn't tell me.
I assumed you knew.
No, I had no idea that this was a thing.
Okay.
Because
That's on
nobody
me. That's
fucking
on
told
me.
me anything.
That's on me. My bad.
Arc System Works didn't tell me anything. Arc System Works didn't say, hey, there's a Blaze Blue game out where you get to play as your favorite Blaze Blue character. Well, not my favorite Blaze Blue character because Iron Taker's not involved. But I get to play as Ragna at least.
Good. We're also
Ragna the Blood Edge.
Yeah, we're both Taker fans here.
Yeah, no, because I don't bother to learn how to play anime fighters, so I just play the grappler.
Yeah.
Fair but point. In any case, like, okay, first of all, why don't more fighting games do this? Where, the only way that I can experience fighting games is in a fighting game, right? But like, if I want to interact with that story in any other way, the only other options I have video game wise are fighting games. This is, I get to interact with these characters that I've had in my life now since 2010 or 2008, not even 2009. Okay, so Calamity Trigger comes out in 2009. I remember we were in college. I remember where I was when that game came out. Like, I went over to our friend Zach's house, and him and his brother and a couple other guys were playing the first Blaze Blue. Right, like. Number one, why don't more fighting games do this? Like, if I could play like an action platformer Street Fighter game, like, I'd buy that shit immediately.
Yeah, that would rip. That would rip pretty hard.
Right? And I could play as Ryu and Ken and Chun-Li and Guile and, like, Jury, I'm sure, would be one of the characters.
Shadaloo. Just...
Right, exactly. And you're just fighting Shadaloo, right. Or you're Terry Bogard and you're trying to fight your way into Geese Howard's mansion.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how sick that would be. Why more fighting game companies don't do this is insane to me.
We should make a video game, Jeff. That's basically what it is. We should make a video game.
My immediate thought after seeing this was like, I have RPG Maker. I'm about to just make the Ryu RPG. And like have like a Ryu fucking RPG. Where you go through the world as Ryu in like an RPG. I don't know. Why not? But
the blueprint is there. Mind.
Mortal Kombat Anthology Sub-Zero ruined this for everybody else because nobody's tried doing this since then.
What was the one with Liu Kang and
the Mortal Kombat games ruined this, I think, for a lot of people. This is such a good idea. I can't believe Arc System Works didn't tell me about it. I can't believe I never heard about it. And I can't believe Capcom and more fighting game companies aren't doing stuff like this. Of course, this game's a fucking roguelite, but that's okay. Like, I can live with that.
Again, best game type!
I can live with it because I get to be Ragna the Blood Edge killing shit.
Fair point.
Again, because I haven't been able to play as Ragna the Blood Edge in a long time. So, like, it blew my mind that, number one, this game is just called Entropy Effect. It's not Blaze Blue Entropy Effect. If I were them, I would stick Blaze Blue on everything.
Yeah, I don't know Entropy why Effect is like the big part of the name. Like, Blaze Blue is almost like an afterthought.
Right. It's crazy to me. And it's just like seeing these characters again. Like, it makes me so happy. Like, I miss Blaze Blue. I love Blaze Blue. Because I missed Guilty Gear when it originally came out and all that. I hadn't been thoroughly exposed, and then by the time it got to the point where Blaze Blue released, I was looking for that. Like, I that was something that would have been on my radar.
Yeah.
So now that I have this opportunity again to interact with these characters, like, it's so cool. Like, you already bought it. Like, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah, again,
like,
my apologies for not mentioning it earlier. I assumed you already knew about it.
How would you have known? Right? Yeah. Like, you would think that a company would have said, hey, we're Arc System Works, here's this game. It's because the game isn't made by Arc System Works, so that's probably why they didn't they haven't like talked about it. It's made by 91 Act, who is only known for making this.
Okay. Oh, so this is like their first and main only like main game, basically.
They're a Chinese game developer and operator.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, you know what it is? They made the mobile port. They made Revolution Reburning, which is the Blaze Blue mobile game. That's why.
Word.
But it's like a China only, I think.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Gotcha.
Let's find out.
So a little bit of background, at least from what I know about Entropy Effect, because again, the Blaze Blue Entropy Effect came out last year, I believe.
Yes, it
I
did.
remember on for a little while reviews were like mostly positive, like kind of teetering on like mostly positive and mixed. I think people were didn't expect it to be like what it is, you know what I mean, being like a 2D side scrolling roguelike action game. And then eventually like it kind of broke out, and then I guess the rest of the fans of the Blaze Blue the rest of the Blaze Blue fandom basically found it, and then it jumped up in rating pretty hard. At least from what I recall, again from about a year ago. I could be misremembering exactly how fast it took for it to actually get to like I think it's like very positive now in regards to
It is.
okay.
It is. It's very positive ratings now.
Yeah, and of course they were, I think they were like tweaking stuff and like balancing the game kind of thing. And then uh specifically for this, why they're featuring it here in the AAA initiative is because they have a Dead Cells DLC or update coming up. So there's an entropy effect cross Dead Cells collab basically. They're bringing in the prisoner, you know, the dude you play as,
the Dead Cells character,
the guy with the big old fiery lump of cells basically, and he's gonna be the free character coming this summer. That's why they're featuring it in the AAA. Okay, you said you were pulling something up here, right?
No, this is I just wanted to scream about Entropy Effect being a Blaze Blue game and never hearing about it.
Yeah.
I'm good basically until I'm good for a while. I'm good for another like 20 minutes of video time. So like
okay, cool.
I just think like I can't believe that this was hidden basically from everybody. And just put Tager in the game for me. That's all. Just put Tager in the game for me. Like, oh, I'm gonna play as Ragna. I'm gonna be happy playing as Ragna because Ragna's cool.
Oh,
big guy,
and
big sword.
Co-op. The couch co-op is coming soon. That's another update.
Oh wow.
Well. Yeah, so that's gonna be very fun. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, if you
probably play it,
we have it. We're definitely start jumping into it relatively soon. At least on our personal time, anyway. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
So next thing got up here. This looks really very pretty and looks like it's going to be very sad at the end of it because it is a story-based game with looks like a father-daughter dynamic kind of thing. Probably going to cry if I play this game. I'm probably not going to because I'm going to cry. Opus Prism Break. It looks very very pretty. Again, story-based and it's fully voice acted. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out, but there's
zero chance I'm playing a game about a father and their child.
Yeah. Again, I understand on your
There's zero chance, dude.
But yeah, currently wishlist on Steam, so that usually just means no demo currently available, but looking to release later this fall in 2025. Okay, next thing we got here, Blacksmith Master, another town building type of game here. Again, if you are I know this tickles somebody's brain, the productivity type of their kind of person, right? Not me, because numbers go up, but also like a lot of planning. I'm not good at this stuff. Surprisingly, right? Considering I play RTSs, but yeah, this is really like not my thing. But Q2 2025, currently again wishlist now only. I believe what it said on the screen. Yeah, wishlist now, so no demo. But yeah, Blacksmith Master. Next one up, Heroes of Might and Magic, Olden Era. So
I was gonna say, speaking of strategy,
right.
Heroes of Might and Magic. RTS, turn-based strategy.
It is, right? Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yeah,
yeah, again, it looks really cool. Aesthetic is very cool. I haven't heard of Heroes of Might and Magic for a minute. I don't know. I've been so out of it from them. It looks cool. It looks like a new big game / update. New game. Okay, yeah. Early access, summer 2025. So currently only wishlisting.
Looks really good.
Yeah, looks very good for them. Okay, next one here. Another one for me. So here's the thing. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Already currently out, actually. Like at least technically in early access. I've been playing it for the last, I don't know how many months at this point. It is very, very fun. So it's Vampire Survivors. It's a one-stick shooter, right? Basically, you just walk around. You have turrets. You have automatic guns to fire off. It's reverse bullet hell. I've also heard that term one-stick shooter, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
They're showcasing some new stuff here right off the bat. There's like a bit of verticality now. You can kind of jump or jetpack or get launched away on the map to traverse some terrain, which is cool because so far in the game right now, it's just walk around, dig through walls, lay down turrets, shoot your guns. Again, all you're doing is walking. That's the only control you have to actually handle. And the scale is like navigating and maneuvering around the map basically. So yeah, they are officially getting their 1.0 release later this year. The game has already gone in early access, like 2 major overhauls to like all the skills, the materials, collection, power ups, stuff like that. A bunch of like updates to all the weapons. So it's reset my progress actually like a couple times at this point, which I've been perfectly fine with because again, it's like a survivor like, or which is again kind of like another another term for basically one stick shooter roguelike. But yeah, like again, very very fun. The classes do feel very distinct. Just more Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I'm perfectly down with. And again, it comes out officially out of early access September 17 this year. Really excited for this update. This looks really really fun. Sorry for the coughs. Okay, next one up here, the Altars. This looks really interesting, but again, because it's like a 3D. I don't know what the term is for these. Like I've played a couple of games like this. Kind of like the Fallout base building game. You know what I mean? Where you have to select certain people to do certain tasks. You know what I mean? While managing like health, food resources, their sanity, kind of thing. This one looks like to have a very dark storyline. But on top of like managing your base, you also can go out and do stuff yourself, which is kind of cool. A lot of people were joking in the chat here that it looks just like a what's called like a Death Stranding-esque kind of game.
Definitely.
You're clearly working on like a timeline here, right? I see like 3 days, 2 days, 1 days, or whatever. While you see like the narrator's group of people, like their health and sanity deteriorating. Looks really interesting. I used to be really into these games. I kind of fell out of them because they get really stressful.
Right.
Because obviously, sometimes your teammates will just die or, kill themselves or like they'll die surviving or like scavenging. Looks really interesting. I might try to get back into this just because it does have a little bit more like agency since you can go out and scavenge yourself. And it looks pretty cool, honestly. Again, like a bit of like a Death Stranding, kind of like weird monster thing going on here. Comes out later this year, June 13. It looks like also not just on Steam, like all the consoles, like they showed right at the end. The game's called Altars. I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning. But yeah, coming out on all the other 2 current consoles, right? The PS5, Xbox, and there's like a collector's edition as well too. But yeah, that looks really cool. Maybe I'll get back into it. Okay, next one up here. This so I was watching this with my coworker Matt, right? And he and I. So a little backstory here. Speedrunners 1. This is Speedrunners 2 is a sequel to Speedrunners 1 or Speedrunners, and Speedrunners is just like a really fun party game where your entire job is to just outrun the rest of the people because whoever's in the lead drags the screen around. You know what I mean? You can kill people by dragging them off, essentially dragging them off screen. This is just a sequel, and it looks amazing. So the first one is like animated, is more like a typical 2D cartoon animated style, and this is kind of looks like they're just animating like a 2.5D animation setup.
Yes.
And it just looks like more fun, more weapons, more chaotic, new maps, stuff like that. And I love the fact that they still animate the characters at like 20 FPS. So it looks a little choppy.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, it's just a really, really fun party game. Matt wrecks my shit in this game. I am very much so not good at this, but it's very fun. It's a very, very fun game to have around for people to play. Because it's like super, the game's super fast. You're trying to like booby trap each other. It's kind of like Mario Kart to an extent as well too. You know what I mean? Because you have all the power ups and stuff like that. But yeah, it comes out later this year, 2025 on Steam, and 2026 on consoles. And that being said, yeah, it did come. I do have it on the Switch as well, on the Switch 1 as well. So yeah, like one of those games that I was willing to pay for it twice, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Before I got the Steam Deck, obviously, but very, very fun game. This is a sequel. Looks cool. Very excited. Okay, next one here. I made a joke about it in Discord call with my friend Matt. It looks like overlanding or like Car Breath of the Wild.
Dude, people go on vacation.
Yeah, just go out and do this yourself.
Just go do this for real, dude.
Yeah. Go buy an old Jeep Grand Cherokee, lift it up, throw some throw a 3-lane slip kit on it. Get some nice beefy tires. Get some actually,
man.
I mean, like from what it looks like, yeah, it's just like it looks like kind of like a cozy game for the most part. with a little, just kind of navigating. That's kind of all you're doing here. Again, I don't really
Go
don't
to
know a lot about
therapy.
this. But
Why do we need all these fucking cozy games, dude? Just go to fucking therapy.
I honestly am kind of interested in it. I'm actually willing to try this one out. No release date. It's a sign up for the next playtest. So there's a little QR code on screen, and currently only wishlisting on Steam. Okay, next one up here. This one looks interesting for some aspects, and then the other aspect is unfortunately the city building, which again will just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. It doesn't click with me. But it looks like essentially like a horde defense game, right? Like a tower defense game.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it does get very like Vampire Survivors-y, where like the sheer number of enemies on screen is insane. But yeah, like I maybe I'll check it out. Hopefully there's a demo coming out soon. But it's hopefully coming out Q3 of this year, 2025. Currently only wishlisting. Super Fantasy Kingdom. Okay, next one up. I'm gonna. This looks like a game I would play for half of this game only, and then the other half I would not care about.
Right. X4 Foundations is the name of the game.
So I would play this for the space combat sim, from what it looks like. I would play that bit. The other side is the like planetary world building, or like move the forces around kind of thing. Like it reminds me of like the Star Trek MMO a little bit. You know what I mean?
Or Eve. A lot of Eve Online.
Yeah,
vibes,
Eve Online vibes. Yeah. Again, like that's cool and all. Probably not my type of game because I would only play like the dog fighting half of it. It is currently now on sale though on Steam on Good Old Games. So it's already currently out for you.
The kicks and goals and stuff like that. It's called Rematch, and it's
it's Rocket League.
Somebody made Rocket League with people.
Yeah. Is this multiplayer? Like I don't know anything about this game. It looks kind of fun.
It definitely looks like it's multiplayer.
Okay. Sick.
It looks like your keeper is also like an offensive player.
Huh.
And everybody's got like, juiced up Rocket League superpowers and stuff. It's pretty cool. Like it is actually a pretty cool kind of game here. And I think it has a chance, but
reminds me of like a tape to tape almost. I mean, like obviously tape to tape is a little bit different, right? Because it's like it has a bit of like a roguelike elements into it. But
what this doesn't?
Yeah, I mean maybe
this is the only one that doesn't have roguelike elements.
Maybe the power ups.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like co-op, like a co-op sports game, like coming from an indie game.
Something different. It's definitely a different vibe.
Yeah, and it's like I know there's always this kind of cycle of people getting mad at like the sports games that are currently out. So I'm wondering if any of those people are willing to even like look into this type of game. You know what I mean? Or they only want the realism.
I'm sure it's going to attract some people.
Yeah, but definitely looks interesting. Again, Rematch is the name of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out June 19th. Pre-order now for early access, and it's coming out on all the consoles.
Yeah.
So hopefully it gets some traction, because there were a couple like indie like basketball games that I played on PS4. I remember back in the day, and it was pretty fun. But obviously a very small community. But it was it's kind of like a 3-on-3 street ball type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So something like this, I think could actually have like a nice solid like dedicated community for it. I also saw the chat was very, very excited for this game when that game showed up. So it gets a lot of people already like looking into it. Okay, next one up. Oh yeah, so there's some more Vampire Survivor stuff coming out basically. I was like kind of considering I was like, is it because I saw the font and then I saw the character, the way they're drawing all the characters. You had this like magic girl Maho Shoujo waifu kind of character going on.
Right.
And I was like, where's this going? Because I saw her get grabbed with a giant hand. So I was like, what are they doing here? But yeah, so basically they have another big update coming out for Vampire Survivors, which is always good because this game again tickles my brain in a very, very fun way. New attacks, new animations, a bunch of like, characters and skins. Again, like just this game just rules. Like, I mean, you played it for the podcast.
Yeah.
New maps, new monsters, stuff like that. And the big co-op update, and the new one is called, was it Emerald Diorama? That's what they're doing. I don't know if that's a reference to something.
It's on the it looks like it's a crossover with Saga.
Oh, okay, yeah. Word. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Also, Vampire Survivors has been doing a lot of collabs. Like I don't know if you've like noticed like all the updates recently. They have the
No, I
Castlevania
have
one.
not.
So they have the Castlevania one, official Castlevania one. Like Among
Hmm.
Us. You know what I mean? Like they had the Among Us
Yeah, no,
one.
I knew the Castlevania one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Saga is like one of the Saga games, so
Word.
that's cool.
Yeah. So again, more Vampire Survivors is always good. I will always play more Vampire Survivors. And also all free. And it came out like
Yeah,
yesterday, like straight up. You're like,
yeah,
here you
yeah,
go,
yeah,
just
yeah.
more content, which is very based. Okay, next one up here we got Ikuma. I come.
Ikuma,
I come.
I come,
Yeah.
I come. Gay boys in the mountains.
I see an animal companion and a person. I don't know if you're one person's controlling the animal or not. Uh, I will cry if the animal dies.
Right, exactly.
So, it looks kind of like a spiritualist kind of game. You know, there's like a cultural lore thing going on here. It reminds me a little bit of like Never Alone. I don't know if you ever played that game or not.
No.
Oh yeah, but it's basically it's like a little. I think it's a little girl and her little wolf companion. And it's like a story of like Inuits basically. Yeah. So looks cool. Looks pretty. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I will wait. I will wait to see if it's kind of in more in my wheelhouse when more stuff comes out about it. But it is launching 2026 and it's coming out on all the consoles. And PC. Okay. Next one. Shapes 2. I I never played Shapes.
Sure.
What is Shapes? Because I like my friend was excited about this, but
Shapes
Yeah.
are the things that like you teach kids, and it's like circles and squares
I
and
understand. I understand that part.
rectangles.
I know. Your son's very good at squares and triangles already. I know. But
Uh,
what is the game? Like I've never actually like.
I don't know.
What the hell? Is
You think
Shapes?
if you don't know, you think I would know?
Maybe I don't know.
No,
Well, I don't see
not
it
I.
on Steam. The Shapes 1 anyway. But the Dimension update coming June 2nd. So whatever that is, people were excited. Some people were excited about it in the chat. So it's got to be
Right.
something. Okay, next one up, we've got V Rising Invaders of Oakvale update. So V Rising is a 3D hack and slashy survival base building game essentially, but you're vampires. You can kind of like build your own little mansion essentially, and have all these other. You can create like minions basically because you're a vampire in the whole hypnosis thing. This is basically just a big update for what it looks like. Very again like. Unfortunately, this game is just another one of those games where like it's too much of a time sink for me to try to get into because it does have that survivally crafty kind of part to it. But good, more content's coming out for it basically. Next one up here, Necess the Forgotten Depths. This just reminds me of like Four Swords. You know what I mean? You're kind of like walking around.
Oh yeah, I get it.
There's like looks like this multiplayer going on. There's an economy rework. Apparently there's an economy in this game. It looks very cute. It looks very cute, and I see like all the spells and the stuff that they're firing out looks very fun and chaotic. And there's like mechanics for the boss fights that they show like a tic-tac-toe board essentially.
Yeah. Have fun.
Cool. Again, if you play this game, good for you. Again, it's an update that is currently live. Also, there's a little heart at the right at the end, so I'm assuming there's like a romance update. So that that's always
Of
fun for
course.
games. Okay, next one up, we have Dusk Fade, which I thought was like a Kingdom Hearts game initially. I thought it was like an indie.
I thought it was too. I thought this was Kingdom Hearts
because of the hilt, the handle of the sword.
Yeah, this is basically indie Kingdom Hearts.
It still looks kind of cool. Like aesthetically, it looks very nice. And if it is that kind of like indie Kingdom Hearts like action RPG game, I'll probably try it out. It does look very pretty. Riding on rails, big old pretty world with gears and stuff, and double hopping and hack and slashy aspect of the game. I'm definitely willing to give this game a try, just because I like Kingdom Hearts, and it just reminds me a lot of it, basically. But yeah, coming 2026, coming out on all consoles as well too, not just Steam. Fireshine Games is the name of the studio. Okay, this game, Jeff, did you see this one as well or no? Were you tuned in?
Morbid Metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my game right here. So,
yeah.
Morbid Metal is I have the Steam page. Hang on, it's on my wish list already. This is basically kind of where I really like settled down and not started watching, but I was basically I was locked in at this point, and this got me going. So it's a 3D action hack and slash game. Of course, there's roguelike elements to it because of course.
Yes.
You can basically pick between one of 4 characters in real time, and you see this happen in the game where they're mid-air combo and they change characters, which is pretty cool. It is actually pretty sick.
Looking. Yeah.
And yeah, you're just like cybernetic ninjas and people fighting other robots. It's so sick. Go look it up.
Very Devil May Cry. Kind of, it looks like kind of combat, very high combo potential. Also, the first character looked like Jax from League of Legends, so I was very hyped about that too.
Yeah, it looked like one of the characters from Exoprimal, and I was like, "Oh my god, are we getting another one?" But no.
This was really cool. Do you have the studio? You said you have the page up, right? Who's the studio who made this one?
This is from Screen Juice. First game
looks sick. Yeah, this is very much so up my alley as well too.
Yeah. Could be a lot of industry veterans, but this looks really sick.
Yeah, early access summer 2025. This looks really, really cool. I already wishlisted it as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, same.
Okay. I'm down with this one. Okay, next one up we got here. This one was really interesting. Bit of it looks like a bit of like an artsier game. But the game is called The Eternal Life of Goldman. So Goldman. It looks like a 2D platformer, right? Looks like it has like an hand animation style, right kind of thing going on.
It's like if they made Braid in the Cuphead art style.
Yeah.
And he's got the Scrooge McDuck bounce, and he, it seems
really
pretty.
Cool. It's beautiful looking. Also, like I was very hyped because I saw Kevin Penkin is working in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Penkin is is a composer, for a bunch of like animes basically, and I guess he also does video games now too. But I know mostly for his anime stuff, his anime soundtrack work. But no, this looks really, really cool. I love the animation style. Yeah, I don't know. Like I was kind of just like very intrigued by it basically from the way it looks. And like basically everybody they have here is basically a composer, so I'm assuming this is like a very big soundtrack gonna be for this game as well too. Which I'm always down for. Obviously being a music guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like again, the style just reminds me of like almost like it's Cuphead for weebs. That's basically that's kind of like a little bit of like that weird Japanese anime aesthetic, like a Ghibli movie almost. But yeah, no, it looks really, really interesting. I'm really excited for this one. I like in a way that I don't know how else to explain other than I want to play it. It reminds me a little bit of Owlboy. I don't know if you heard about that game either.
Yeah, no, I've heard of it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the kind of slightly kind of whimsical look to it. But yeah,
I get it. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Braid.
Yeah,
but like you said, for weebs.
Yeah, and cut with the hand, the hand drawn animation style. Very cool. Okay, I don't think I saw a wish list now. No release date, at least not on the Triple I Initiative video. Okay. Next one up, Into the Fire. This looks kind of sick. I don't know how you feel about this one. To me, it felt like Dead Space, but you're a fireman instead of being a space engineer.
Yeah.
I'm kind of down.
I mean, it looks really cool.
It does,
right? It does
right?
look cool, but I don't know if it's my type of game, but it's cool.
But I'm interested. Only early access in 2025, and wishlist now. So like, if this gets a demo, I'm immediately gonna try it out because I'm so intrigued by it. Like, it feels like this should be up my alley. But yeah, again, like Dead Space, but fire. So I'm fireman. I'll try it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one.
Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Baslotro.
Yeah.
The game is called Clover Pit. It's a casino slot machine roguelike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baslotro, basically.
And it looks like Buckshot Roulette. Like, has that kind of like low pixel, low poly aesthetic to it.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, there's already a couple other. There's like one or two other like big slots roguelikes out that are pretty popular, but this looks like a PS1 fever dream. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Agreed. No,
yeah,
yeah, it is absolutely combining. It's like, okay, you want Balatro, you want buckshot roulette, but you're gonna play slot machines instead.
and you're gonna just full on degen gamble, and
Yeah,
you're playing against the devil. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm in.
yeah. I'm in.
There is a
I'm
demo out
definitely
now,
in.
and it is
Oh shit! All right,
yeah,
I gotta go play this.
coming soon, wishlist now. But yeah, it says demo out now right at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that later today.
Yep. Let's go do this.
Okay, while you're doing
Add to wish list.
Okay.
Download demo.
So this is one of the first games that I think that I don't know if I think this would intrigue you, because you being like a analog horror
Degenerate,
fan.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that game, yes, but also this game. The next game is coming up here.
Oh, no, I'm not a human.
Yeah.
This was the first one to hit the wish list. Even before I remembered to put Metal what was it? Metal something? Metal Mayhem?
Yeah.
Morbid Metal on there.
Yeah.
This hit the wish list first.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably up your very much in your wheelhouse.
I forgot about this because I was so upset about Blaze Blue. I forgot about this. So, this is called No, I'm Not a Human. It is an analog horror game. So everything is kind of in that 1990s sort of early 2000s kind of look to it. VHS sort of camera sort of display. The 24-hour news cycle is kind of a major recurring theme as your character kind of lives in their house by themselves, and I guess they have to identify who's human and who's not, and who they can trust, and what's real. Honestly, looks incredible.
Yeah, very interesting looking. I've seen I think like some streamers have had like early access to this. Like I feel like I've seen like some like
Right.
VTubers even like playing this a little bit. It looks really interesting. Like I'm curious to see like how this actually plays out, and like, you know, how I want to play it myself kind of thing. But yeah, I was like, this has Jeff written all over it, basically. That's all I was thinking.
No, this is so sick. Basically, okay, so I'm looking at the store page now, and basically it's kind of like, not Papers, Please. What's the other one that everybody was on, where you have like, you're the doorman game? Let's see if I can find it. That's Not My Neighbor.
Yes,
okay.
yeah. Oh, maybe that's
Not My Neighbor.
Maybe
it's
that's the one that I
got
saw.
a similar vibe to that.
Okay, maybe never mind. I think that's the one that I saw. Okay.
Yeah, this is the one. That's Not My Neighbor. Is
similar idea.
Yeah, similar concept where you have people approach your door and you have to identify if they're human or not. I think this one has a little bit more of a adult kick to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
because I think like you have people that are like coming to stay the night and whatever.
Yeah, there's a woman who's like trying to seduce you from what it looks like.
Yeah, basically. So you have to figure out if they're human or not, or, you know, and I don't really know what happens if you're wrong or whatever. The visitors overwhelm us. Let some in, hear their stories. Some will help. Some will need help. Some are visitors, right? So
yeah, there's like a monster that like they lift up their shirt to show like a pit at one point in this trailer, and the people behind them just explode into like a little pool of like, you know, little lump of flesh, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, and there's also like two people got murdered in like a shoe closet. It looks very interesting. I wouldn't personally play this until except for the fact that you kind of brought me down this like analog horror rabbit hole.
Hell yeah, man.
So if it wasn't for you, I would not be interested in this, because I'm a big baby and I'm gonna cry and pee myself. But now, you know, again, now I'm kind of into this aesthetic at this point. So
yeah, no, this aesthetic is fucking dope.
Yeah,
I am all the way in on this. So yeah, no, when I saw this, I was definitely in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like these next 3 games, I was like, I'm all the way in on.
Yeah. So we're wrapping up here at this point. We've got three more left over here.
This is the last game.
Yeah,
second to last game.
Yeah, second to last.
Sorry,
okay.
second to last game.
We're close. But this is like and again, clearly a big deal because people were the chat was zooming at this point. For this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we have another world premiere here. The next one is called Voidbreaker. This looks nuts.
Yeah.
Also,
how this is an independent game is beyond me.
Solo dev, by the way.
Yo,
that's why
insane.
That's why it's an independent game. So, it's like it's giving me like, I don't know, like. It's like, what was it called? A post void, I think it was called, or something like that. It was like a boomer shooter that I think was that had this kind of glitch aesthetic to it.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's a lot of movement, so it gives me like Titanfall meets like Quake vibes to it. You know what I mean? Like, and you're fighting giant robots, so there's like, and you're dodging shit, so it's like a little bit of like a Ghost Runner on top of it, and it's a roguelike. So, and you're mixing elements together in your gun. Like, this has like all of the trademark points of like, oh, I need to play this game. Like, this looks insane. But
it's really sick, dude.
This is
it's really
interesting.
Sick.
The art style is awesome. Like, you know, again, kind of like post-apocalyptic, like, you know, cybernetic future kind of going on. Again, like a run-based first-person roguelike shooter. So, yeah, open play test from April 10 to the 24th. Play now. So yeah, I think if that's the case, I'm pretty sure that just means like you have to. What is it? It's just like, I think, a request basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just request access, and then usually within a day or two, you'll get access to it. Yeah, I was joking with I was watching with my coworker and friend Matt. This is like what Risk of Rain wishes it could be.
Yeah.
Especially with the latest Risk of Rain 2 update being very poorly received.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I think Hapu Games like sold it off essentially.
Oh no.
And they changed up a bunch of
that sucks.
Yeah, they changed up a bunch of stuff. I mean, obviously the core game was still pretty good, but the people who are very, very tuned into the game have not been fans of the way the game's changed. I still enjoy it because I'm a casual, right? But
right.
This is like, again, like that kind of crazy movement shooter, you know, boomer shooter / Titanfall-esque kind of movement game. And then you have like a claw that grabs shit, or like a gravity like whip or something. I don't know what to call it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, reminds me of the gravity gun. You know what I mean, from Half-Life. So
yeah,
looks sick. I already requested. I still haven't gotten in yet. Also, nice thing about this game is that there's like a 3-hour after part of the stream where the solo dev was actually showing you like the game, like he was straight up just showing up gameplay.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I see that there's so much more after the fact, and I was like, oh shit, I missed all this.
Yeah, it's gameplay showcase.
It's long, basically. Man. It's like 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's a good like have it on in the background thing, you know, especially when you're working.
Definitely.
Especially if you're interested in a particular set of games, basically.
Mm-hmm. So you have Voidbreaker, Into the Fire, Ikuma, both Deep Rock Galactic games, so that's definitely up your alley.
Yeah.
Over the Hill, Morbid Metal has a bonus feature, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. X4 Foundations, the Eve looking game, and then Starbirds has extra too. So if you're interested in any of those, definitely go check it out.
Baby's first Eve game, from what it looks like. Now that I'm thinking about it now, Starbirds. Okay, and then this last little bit here. This is
I'll clear out.
Okay, so this was essentially their one more thing. You know what I mean? They kind of like you can see much earlier into the life of this show. Jeff, you want to pull that up for me? See if you can find me what episode that is while I continue talking. There is a fantastic game where you play a drugged up samurai who can control time. You walk around people think you're walking around in a bathrobe. You reflect bullets, and you kind of plan things out, and you just go out there and just cause mayhem. We've been waiting for the DLC for this game coming out for a while. Katana Zero. Finally announced, finally an update, basically. We've been waiting on it. We've had nothing. It's basically been radio silence for the most part. Katana Zero DLC is still confirmed. It is coming out, and it's still going to be free.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Again, I knew it was going to come out eventually, right? Unfortunately, though, still no time frame confirmation. That's like the only like sad thing about this bit right here. But the stuff that we do get to see here, right? There's, you know, like obviously the game already is very pretty to begin with, but there's like another like it looks like he slows down time in like an orb around him kind of thing. He's getting some like crazy superpowers. Like he launches like a big energy beam kind of out of himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, still that same kind of like really fluid hack and slash gameplay. You know, like the high risk gameplay. Since again, you're still gonna die in one hit kind of thing.
Episode 5, by the way, so all the way back.
Yeah. So there we go. This game's been a long. This DLC's been a long time coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a bunch of new backgrounds, new locations for you to go ahead and continue your murder spree at. Again, more than backstory, right? Because that's essentially what we've been waiting for at this point. Because clearly the main character has a lot of backstory that was not explored in the base game, and we're kind of hopefully this is going to expand more upon the lore, basically. Yeah.
There's a lot of shots of jungle, so you figure it's him
in the past,
in his military past.
Yeah.
So.
Or returning to it. You know what I mean?
Or returning to it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Super stoked. Super stoked.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's still coming out because I remember again it's been relatively quiet basically on their front. At least I haven't seen anything on Steam or on their Twitter. I don't think anyway that I've seen.
Right.
Like the occasional like, hey, still doing stuff, but like haven't seen anything actually. But this little teaser right here. I will gladly wait. I'm so ready I'm so ready to continue waiting for this game to come out or the DLC to come out for this game. Katana Zero is art, just straight up.
Yeah,
art.
It's really fantastic. Go back and listen. Go play it if you haven't. I mean, it's the best. Definitely the right game to end all of this with.
Yeah, even if there is no window whatsoever.
Right. Even if it's just, hey, it's coming, don't worry.
And it's funny because
we promise.
Literally just that was enough to get the chat to go crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, cool. Everyone's still waiting for this. Awesome. Yeah, again, I think a fantastic way to honestly end the main part of the showcase, right? The AAA Initiative showcase.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, no Silksong information or nothing, no more footage of it. No more anyway than what we saw at the last thing we saw of Silksong was the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct for like 2 seconds. just starving out here, man. just dying of thirst over here. But yeah, so that's the main part of the showcase basically done. The showcase ran for about 45-ish minutes basically. And then I alluded to it before, but there is a full on like another 2 hours basically of gameplay and like the developers of the game talking about their games and design theory and why they decided to make said game and so on and so forth. Yeah, again, you said it before in order, right? So yeah, there's Voidbreaker, Into the Fire, Ikuma, Deep Rock Galactic, Rogue Core, the first person roguelike, right? Over the Hill, the Breath of the Wild for cars, Morbid Metal, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, again the full update's coming out later this year. X4 Foundations, the EVE Online-ish kind of game, and then Starbirds, the Fisher Price of EVE Online games. But yeah, no, again, I think this is a fantastic showcase. Do you have your your personal standout here? I know obviously you were very excited for a couple of things in here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so like discovering that the BlazBlue game existed was number one probably. Hold on, I have everything here.
Yep.
The Morbid Metal obviously was one that definitely caught my eye. No, I'm Not a Human, Voidbreaker, Clover Pit, and I put Duskfade on here because like I don't know, I just thought it looked cool, and I've been told the Kingdom Hearts games are great and I should play them and give them another chance, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll just play this instead.
Yeah, if
like
you can't get fully into the story, at least get the action part of the game in there.
Exactly, the gameplay. So that's kind of been those were kind of my couple of games that I was really looking for, and those will be the ones that I have my eye on moving forward here.
Yeah. For me, both Deep Rock Galactics, Rock and Stone. Hopefully all you listeners who know, Rock and Stone.
put in the leave a review and put Rock and Stone in
Yeah,
there, or leave a comment on Spotify. Rock and Stone,
please do. Into the Fire, I think is like my surprise. Like, I'm interested. You know, kind of intrigued. I'm intrigued kind of game. I'm not gonna include like Vampire Survivors, like the games that are getting like big updates, because like I was gonna play those games anyway, kind of thing.
Right.
True. But I guess technically, even though like Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core is technically a new game, but yeah, Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core, Frost Rail, just because again the first person extraction kind of game looking thing, and Morbid Metal. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. No, I'm Not Human. Again, thank you, Jeff, for bringing me to the analog horror world.
For sure.
And yeah, Voidbreaker and Katana Zero. Yeah, that's kind of like my big things that I was like very like, ooh, I'm absolutely in. Oh yeah, Clover Pit, duh, because again, gambling, because we're degenerates.
Correct, gambling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down. I was very excited. I was very much so like satisfied with this showcase. You know, 2 showcases in 1 month is kind of sick. Like that you and I were both pretty hyped for, right? We got that direct like a week and a half ago, and then we get this one. So yeah, super solid. Yeah. So that's really it on my end. Anything else you want to touch upon here?
No. This was cool to be able to just jump in and kind of bang this out real fast. Something, you know, keep it timely. Something we want to do more often here is, you know, get some timely stuff here.
Yeah.
But no, I'll let you wrap, because I mean this is your baby here. So
okay, cool. Yeah, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in for this one. This one again, thank you for dealing with the roughness around this episode. There basically is gonna be no editing done here. We're kind of just we recorded it. We want to get it out as quickly as we possibly could. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. Again, hopefully let us know what you guys are looking forward to in this showcase. Leave a comment for us here. Share us with a friend. We are on all the major audio streaming platforms. Share us with your grandma. And tune in for the next episode, guys. Appreciate it.
See ya.